Use the trapezium rule to calculate the integral from 0 to 1 of the square root of x plus 1 dx for n equal to 5. Note, this is an integral that you could do manually, and you'd be able to compare the results. We're then going to do for n equals 100 using technology. Not that I'm not going to use technology for part A, but we're going to use technology to just do it for part B. So let's think first about our delta x. That's going to be 1 take away 0 divided by 5, which is 0.2. So let's look at our x values here. So the first one is 0, then we're going to have 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and then 1. So notice that there's 6 ordinates, but that will give us 5 trapezia. So we want the corresponding y values. So when x is 0, we just have the square root of 1. When x is 0.2, we have the square root of 1.2. Now, rather than just calculate all of those individually, what I can do is I can go to graph and table, and I can put in here the square root of x plus 1, and I can generate a table. And what I can do with my table is decide to start it at 0, go to 1, and do a step of 0.2, and then I've got all the values I want. So 1.0, so this is 1.095445. So I'll do 6 decimal places. For 0.4, I get 1.183216. For 0.6, I've got 1.264911. For 0.8, 1.341608, and then the last one's root 2, isn't it? So that's 1.414214. Okay, and then our formula is delta x divided by 2, and then we'll have the first and the last, and then 2 times all of the others. Okay, and we can calculate that. And so let's just go to main, and we'll type that in. So to start with, our delta x was 0.2. So 0.2 divided by 2. I could have done that bit in my head, but I didn't. And then I've got 1 add 1.4414214 plus twice, open a bracket, type in all the others. I'm going to pause the video while I do that, and we'll just come back for the result. Okay, I've got all the values in, so execute. Might be more handy if I'd had that in decimal. So let's execute again. 1.2185. So notice I had my values to 6 decimal places, but I'm giving this to 4 decimal places. Maybe we'll check out how well we've done shortly when we use the technology. So for n equals 100, using technology comes next. Okay, so here we have the E activity for numerical integration. We want to define our function, which for us was the square root of 1 plus x. Now we only want to go down one line, so use the finger, and our limits are 0 and 1. To start with, I'm not going to use the 100. I'm not going to do part B. Let's just have a check on our part A and put 5 here, and we can press execute now. Notice that at the bottom here we have the exact integral. It's not that far away. If we go a bit further up, we've got trap rule 1.2185 if we round it to 4 decimal places. So we did pretty well with that. Let's go back up and let's just change that 5 into 100. And it does the whole calculation. I'm going to go back up towards the top there. So this is something called the midpoint rule, which we're not doing in the course here. And then we've got our trapezium rule, 1.2190 if we go to 4 decimal places. And what is the true one? 1.2190 if we go to 2 decimal places. Look at the whole number there. Let's go back up to that trap rule. It's pretty close, isn't it? There's a 0 in the trap rule one at some point here, which isn't in this one. So I'm guessing it's accurate to 5 or 6 decimal places. And of course we could go up and use more and more trapezia to try and get more accurate. I don't think it would have to go that far to get it accurate to the number of decimal places on the calculator. But of course there's a lot of decimal places beyond that.